Alright, kiddies, today we are gonna build a hill. In the last episode we just sort of went and built a little median over there and got it into place, and so now we made a median. Today we're going to use the same principle and we are going to build a hill. So what kind of hill we going to build, Dave? Well, first we're going to cut a template just like we did for our little median between the tracks. And well, not that big of a hill. That's going to be our big ass waterfall. I've been carving the styrofoam this morning. It's actually going to be a double waterfall. So we're just letting that dry until I can figure out how to make rocks that look like a real rocky cliff face. And then it's going to go right over here as the centerpiece eventually. But today we're just going to do a hill. So, like I said, I went in and cut a template. How'd we make this template? With our finest case of Busch beer. Recycle, people. Now, and we've cut it to fit, and it's going to go right here. Let's put it into place so we see how it's going to fit. Alright, so that's where our template's going to be, and it's going to be a little hill, not a big hill, just a little bit. And so we're going to build it up, and this video should be a lot quicker than the last one because you know what to do. So let's begin. So we're going to start with Styrofoam City. Looks like a fucking nor'easter went through this bitch. But anyway, it's a mess. But what we're going to do, you can see we got thicker styrofoam, we got thinner styrofoam. I'm going to use the thinner styrofoam on here to make a plateau. So what I'm going to do initially is just trace the outline of this template onto that styrofoam. And then we're going to trace it a little bit smaller. Alrighty, we have traced it. Now we're going to go inside there and make another line. Alright, you get the idea. I traced the outside, then I went back with a Sharpie and I traced the inner side, and that's what we're going to cut out and put on top of the template. Alrighty, let's trace. So with our X-Acto knife, we're just going to go around here and we're going to cut this little guy out. And as you can see, we got our little piece out, and it is going to go right here. So we're just going to glue it down right there. Alright folks, we're back. It's been about an hour. This thing's dry. So just like before, we are going to take our 50-50 water and glue mix, which is stirred up thoroughly. Got some crunched up Kleenex and some toilet paper. Man. Now, why Kleenex? Why toilet? What's the difference? Well, Kleenex is a little bit thicker. So, when you use crunched up Kleenex, it's just a little thicker and it provides a better place where you can pack in this stuff. And then the toilet paper, I more use for the layering to make the gradient. So, what we're going to do is remove this brush. Now that I've stirred it, and we're just going to start applying the toilet paper. Man. One more thing. What I changed here was I put a little bit more elevation right in here because I've decided I'm going to put the water tower, that little smiley face water tower there. So this here toilet paper roll is the exact diameter of the base of the water tower, which I just tested. So what I'm going to do, I'm making a space for my water tower. I'm just going to push this down. Then I'm going to go around with this screwdriver and I'm going to sort of hammer this down because this is where I want the water tower to sit. So I'm going to just make it a little bit lower. And then we're going to let that dry. It's sort of like a little crater. but that's where I want the water tower to sit. Plan ahead. That's what I say. Try to plan ahead. You're still going to have shit go wrong, but hey, I guess that's about right. It's like a little moon crater, man. That's where that smiley face water tower is going to go. And since it's a LED light up water tower, well, we're going to have to, once it's dry, we're going to have to drill a hole through here so we can put the, you can see this, we're going to have to drill a hole to put this wire down through there and go through the table and the track. So that's the plan anyway. We'll do that in another video. Alright y'all, it's dried some, but it's still wet, so I'm test fitting it. It will fit nicely. We're going to place our little smiley face water tower here. Alright guys, we are back. Got our little hillside, it's all been dried out. Things as hard as a rock. So what we're going to do is paint it just like we did the last time, except this thing has a little too much surface area. So I'm going to take a paper towel, which I have over here, and we're going to just paint it with some household paint, which we got right here. This is your trusty Valspar paint, and I'm not going to waste a paintbrush, so I'm just going to go over this and dab it with a thing. You want to see how this thing dries? Here's a thing's hard as a rock. So now you know how your toilet paper and glue and all that stuff dries. So let's get this sort of close. It'll still be messy, but you know, I ain't the richest guy in the world. I don't like to just buy paintbrushes, and I ain't got no paint thinner, so just going over this thing with a, this is my paintbrush. Utilize your paper towel. They're pretty much free when you compare them to buying a paintbrush. And you just throw them away when you're done. Yeah, you get a little paint on your fingers, but we just dab all this on, let it dry, all that good stuff. Then we'll slap some glue on it, sprinkle some grass on it, just like we did the last time, and then we'll come back and show you how that turned out. Alrighty, and now we have our grass in place. And now you can get an idea of where shit's gonna go. Here's a little train station. It says Sunnyvale now, but we're going to paint over that, and we're going to put Pooterville because I have clear plastic decals or clear vinyl decals. So about there is where we're going to go. But Dave, you say, you know what? You better not put that in yet. Don't make a damn rookie mistake. You're going to have to set all that aside because you got a hell of an incline back there that goes right down to a track that's running behind it, and you got a mountain you got to build. So let's build from the back forward. We're going to have to get that back filled in first with some kind of a steep hill or a rocky ridge going down to there. So before we put that little, I don't know if you want to call it a diorama or not, with the train station and water tower, we're going to wire that up and shit. So I guess in the next video we're going to attempt to make some kind of scenery that'll blend in with this thing down here at the bottom before we put it in. So yeah, better to do that first than try to get that in and try to work over and around it and crap, knock over the water tower and all that stuff. Yeah, let's get from the back forward first. So that's all the time we have for today, but join us in our next video where we're going to attempt to sculpt, landscape this back wall and make a hill all the way up to about where the bridge is going to start. and fill all that in before we put our little grass in. Have a good one, y'all.